welcome to LSB Feasters Radio Channel and Travel Corner, where we keep great radio from the past alive. Today, we're going to New York and 101 WCBS-FM New York. Since 1972, WCBS has been playing New York's greatest hits. It originally played songs from the 50s, 60s, and 70s with some current songs thrown in. They ditched the currents in the late 80s and became a pure oldies station. And the station was a market leader year after year after year until 2005, when some brain surgeon at CBS said, "Hey, let's ditch the top format and change it to something everyone will hate." And they did. They changed it to Jack FM, no jocks, no personality, except in the sweepers. People hated the personality. For 2 years that went on till somebody said, "Hey, maybe we should just go back to being CBS FM and playing the greatest hits." Which they did by 2007. They brought back the station. They updated it a bit. They ditched the 50s and were playing 60s through 80s music. As time marched on, they dropped the 60s and started focusing on the 1980s. Now, WCBS-FM had some legendary names that worked there, like Jack Spector, Joe O'Brien, N Nite, Don K. Reed, Harry Harrison, Ron Lundy, Dan Ingram, Joe McCoy, Bobby J, and the voice heard on this Aircheck, the one and only Dick Heatherton. Oh, where'd he go? He's gone. Anyway, Dick, before working at CBS-FM, spent many years at WFIL in Philadelphia, cranking the hits, and WPOP in Hartford. I was lucky enough and fortunate enough to have the chance to work with Dick Heatherton in the 1990s at WBBF-FM in Rochester. And he was the nicest guy and a great talent on the air. If you like what you hear, feel free to give the Aircheck a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel too if you like, and after you do, smack that bell. And you will be notified anytime we post anything new. All right, let's go back to the 1970s and the one and only Dickie Heatherton on 101 WCBS-FM New York.
WCBS-FM. You can dance, every dance with the guys.
CBS-FM and Save the Last Dance for me. This time I lead. Drifters on a Weekend 101. Elevated Rutgers system. Use the lower boulevard out to Hunts Point, if will you. Inbound Triborough, not too good. Grand Central heading down to Kew Gardens. Everybody's heading out to Kennedy Airport. West Side Highway, we have some problems now at the top of the highway. And this is Mama Cass.
And now to sing this lovely ballad.
WCBS-FM.
CBS-FM at 5 o'clock in New York. That's Stevie Wonder, and if you really love me, stand by for more news and coming back with more good gold.
Dick Heatherton. WCBS-FM. New York.
70 degrees and sunny in New York. This is Norm Stevens, CBS-FM News. The House voted overwhelmingly today to create a new Cabinet Department of Energy, but gave it a 5-year extension at the option of Congress. A House-Senate Conference Committee said the legislation was approved by the House today, and a similar bill recently passed by the Senate. Labor Department statistics released today for the month of May show the nation's unemployment rate fell below 7% for the first time in 2.5 years, and a sharp drop in farm prices cooled inflation at the wholesale level. White House News Secretary Jody Powell said the Carter administration is encouraged by the statistics, but warned they should not be viewed as a dramatic move. First Lady Rosalind Carter is in Lima for talks with Peruvian leaders. Mrs. Carter also is taking some time for rest before continuing her Latin American tour. Dutch officials say formal negotiations with the South Moluccan terrorists holding a passenger train and a school will begin tomorrow. The government and terrorists agreed today on 2 persons to act as mediators in the talks. Both are members of the Moluccan community. The terrorists have been holding about 60 hostages in the 2 locations for 11 days. The 2 mediators are a South Moluccan doctor and the widow of a South Moluccan independence leader who was executed in Indonesia more than 10 years ago. The chairman of the special committee searching for a new FBI director says his group has tentatively named its top 5 candidates for the job. Irving Shapiro says he hopes to have the list of recommendations on President Carter's desk late next week. The president appointed the 9-member panel last February after FBI Director Clarence Kelly said he would resign at year's end. Funeral services were held today for Ben Grauer, veteran newscaster who was well known for his New Year's Eve coverage from Times Square. About 600 of his friends, including Walter Cronkite and Barbara Walters, attended the service at the Campbell Funeral Home in Manhattan. Cronkite said New Year's Eve will never be the same and said Grauer deserved the gratitude of millions. Among the pallbearers were former New York City Mayor John Lindsay, conductor Andre Kostelanetz, opera baritone Robert Merrill, CBS newsman Mike Wallace, and veteran newscaster John Cameron Swayze. Some good news on inflation and interest rates touched off a broad rally in the New York stock market today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed up more than 9 points despite somewhat sluggish trading. Gainers outpaced losers among big board issues by more than 2-1. Now the CBS-FM weather. Clear and cool tonight, low in the mid-50s. Tomorrow sunny, high again in the mid-70s. And the outlook for Sunday, partly cloudy with a chance of a few showers. Currently 70 degrees in Manhattan. This is Norm Stevens, CBS-FM News.
Solid gold. Weekend 101.
CBS-FM from the Delaware Valley, just outside of Philadelphia. That's the Dovells and Len Barry in the lead. It's 6 minutes after 5 o'clock here at the Golden 101. What do we got going in the world of sports? We've got the Mets hosting Philadelphia, Yanks in Chicago, and talk about the Nets maybe moving over to New Jersey. Here's the Fortunes at 101 FM.
Letters you wrote me still bring back sad old memories.
CBS-FM and the Champs and Tequila at 5:30, right on the nose at CBS-FM. Number 5 song in New York, When I Need You. This is Leo Sayer at 101.
I just hold out my hand and I'm with you now.
WCBS-FM.
Da 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 da
CBS-FM and a musical delight on a weekend 101. That's the Beatles and From Me to You. From Me to You, I Got Doo-Wop Gold. From the Genies and Who's That Knockin' here at 101 FM.
All night long.
CBS-FM and the Genies and Who's That Knockin' on a weekend 101. And with the way clothes are these days, do you ever wish you could go right to the manufacturer and choose the very latest fashions at wholesale or even below? Well, you can. Fashion Warehouse in Long Island City is the outlet store of a very famous maker of fashion sportswear for juniors and misses. It's filled with rack after rack of the latest summer dresses, sundresses, shorts, T-shirts, skirts, culottes, and jeans. All first quantity, and the prices at Fashion Warehouse are true wholesale or below. 50 to 75% off retail. Thousands of sale pieces at $3, $4, $5, and $6. Right now, Fashion Warehouse has the very same summer fashions you're seeing for twice the price in New York's leading stores. No guessing games. The labels are in at Fashion Warehouse. Visit Fashion Warehouse today at 4734 33rd Street in Long Island City. And that's right near the Midtown Tunnel and the 59th Street Bridge, just a block from Queens Boulevard and the Flushing Subway line. Fashion Warehouse is open daily, including Sundays. For hours and directions, call 212-729-9802. That's 729-9802. Tonight, 6 o'clock, the one and only Jim Harrington. Did you know that beautiful Belmont Park is also famous for music? That's right. Along with the thrill of seeing some of the fastest animals in the world, you can also listen to some of the greatest musical groups in the world. And to prove it, tomorrow, one of the most popular groups of all times will be performing live on stage at Belmont Park. Go out and enjoy the sounds of blood, sweat, and tears. It all takes place in the backyard bandstand from 12 to 1. And it's all for the $2 grandstand admission. Spend a day at America's most beautiful racetrack and surround yourself with green grass, tall trees, fresh air, and sunshine. Capture all the excitement thoroughbred racing has to offer. And tomorrow, jump to the music of blood, sweat, and tears from 12 to 1. Beautiful Belmont Park. It's the perfect place to spend a warm June day. And it's just a short ride from Midtown. Gates open at 11, first race 1:30. Here's Bill Black and the Combo on White Silver Sands on a weekend 101. WCBS-FM and Bill Black's combo on White Silver Sands. By the way, the Deacon is a little slow to the George Washington Bridge, top of the West Side Highway, very heavy now. Holland River Drive getting a lot heavier. Long Island Expressway is experiencing its normal delays this weekend, and right now I think it's time to make more folks Weekend 101 winners. In fact, I want to take a couple of calls from, how about Nassau County at 212-873-3340. I'm going to clear the lines, give everybody an equal chance, and each of those people will receive the Orleans album, Walking and Dreaming. And it's furnished by Elektra and Asylum Records. Dial carefully, 212-873-3340. CBS-FM and the Carpenters, and For All We Know. And by the way, Tommy Marchesotto of East Meadow and Kenny Cornelius of Westbury, Long Island, this hour's Weekend 101 winners, each receives the Orleans album, Walking and Dreaming. More winners coming up here at 101 FM.
Let's lock the door and throw away the key now.
CBS-FM, that's Bo Skaggs, the Future Gold Song 15, doing the Lido Shuffle at 9 minutes to 6 o'clock here at CBS-FM's Weekend 101.
June Banza of Lakewood, Colorado, talks about her 5 kids and Trident sugarless gum.
They know I'm doing it for their own good, and I think the thing that really helps along that line is they like the flavor, of the Trident. And so that's half the battle. If they like it, then, you don't have a problem.
Right, Jean. Since 4 out of 5 dentists surveyed recommend sugarless gum for their patients who chew gum.
The flavor is what I really like, aside from the fact that it's sugar-free.
Trident, for families like Jean's who care about their teeth.
Never before has there been an automobile quite like LeBaron. Introducing Chrysler LeBaron, the beginning of a totally new class of automobiles. It's a lighter, leaner, luxurious Chrysler. A new-size Chrysler with a young, aggressive style. Never before has so much elegance gone into such an ideally sized car, and yet been so very affordable. Never before has such an affordable car offered such spacious interiors, subtle lights, the latest in Chrysler comforts and conveniences. Never before has there been a class of automobiles quite like LeBaron. Chrysler LeBaron, in elegant 2-door and 4-door models. The beginning of a totally new class of automobiles. See your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Oh, baby, there's never been a time more filled with fun than the 50s.
Don't let the stars get in your
It was
eyes.
the height of college fraternities, of pledging, of hazing.
This is home, pledges. This is heaven. This is the bad side of the horse.
But we were young, in college, in love, and having the time of our lives on
Oh, life could be a dream.
Fraternity Row. From Paramount Pictures, rated PG, parental guidance suggested.
Starts today at a theater near you.
WCBS-FM. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit. You ain't no friend of mine.
CBS-FM, and that is the king at a Weekend 101. And Hound Dog at 5 minutes to 6 o'clock. Clear, breezy, very cool tonight, and they are not joking, down to 48. Sunny, breezy, warm, and dry tomorrow, going up to 78. Right now, it's 69 degrees. CBS-FM and Bob Dylan.
WCBS-FM.
CBS-FM, hijack your... Hey, we're clearing out of here. Got a day off tomorrow. Be back on Sunday. Stay tuned for Jim Harrington till Sunday. Aloha.
This is Weekend 101.
WCBS-FM. New York.
69 degrees and sunny in New York. This is Kurt Chaplin, CBS-FM News. The House has passed the bill establishing a cabinet-level energy department, but it limited its existence to 5 years. After that, further congressional action would be necessary to keep it going. As the Senate did earlier, the House refused to give the new energy secretary authority over fuel prices. In both bills, most of the pricing authority would be in the hands of a commission within the department. The Senate bill would give the president veto power over the commission's decisions. The House bill would not. The House version gives Congress the right to veto rules issued by the new department. The Senate version does not. A joint congressional committee will iron out those differences. The man expected to be named Energy Secretary, James Schlesinger, says the administration will push for the Senate version. White House spokesman Jody Powell says the Republican energy program suggested as an alternative to the administration's proposals ranges from what he calls do-nothing to bigger profits for oil companies. The Republican proposals include tax incentives to promote increased production of oil and gas, as well as conservation through mass transit and more efficient cars. Henry Kissinger has decided to return to academic life after years at the top of the diplomatic world and has accepted a professorship at Georgetown University. Georgetown officials say Kissinger will conduct a seminar on contemporary diplomacy for 20 to 25 graduate and undergrad students, and he'll give a major public lecture in each semester of the 1977-78 academic year. Columbia University here in New York offered Kissinger an endowed chair and political science professorship, but protests from students and faculty members over Kissinger's role in Vietnam War policy apparently led him to turn down the job. New York State Senator Roy Goodman says the New York City Police Department could save $29 million a year by abolishing its traffic division and halting the issuance of traffic summonses. At a news conference today, Goodman, a Republican candidate for mayor, said we need all the policemen who are physically able to devote their time primarily to crime prevention and the apprehension of criminals, not to ticketing cars that are parked in no parking zones. Camden County Prosecutor Thomas Schuster disclosed today that 29-year-old James Bethia of Camden, New Jersey, is being indicted on 8 counts. Earlier this week, Bethia threatened the life of a woman public defender in a jail cell with a nail file. Bethia is charged with kidnapping, armed with a deadly weapon, possession of a dangerous weapon, threat to kill, robbery, and robbery while armed, as well as false imprisonment. Human fly George Willig, who scaled the 110-story World Trade Center, was presented with a certificate today inducting him into the Guinness Hall of Fame at the Empire State Building. The certificate said that because of Willig's superlative feat, an exhibit of the 27-year-old toy designer will go on display at the Guinness Records Exhibit Hall in the Empire State Building. New York State Athletic Commission Chairman James Farley, Jr. of New York resigned today. Farley has been under pressure because of his connection with Don King's U.S. Boxing Championships. Farley previously had suspended himself without pay after disclosure of his links to the promotion of King's tournament. That tourney is under suspension pending an investigation of several charges against it, including kickbacks by fighters to tournament officials and fixed ratings of fighters. The government says the unemployment rate fell below the 7% mark last month to 6.9% of the workforce. That's the lowest level in 2.5 years. Also from the government comes word that wholesale prices increased by 0.4% in May, far below the 1 1/10% increases in March and April. And that positive economic news touched off a Wall Street rally today. Dow Industrials gained more than 9 points in sluggish trading. The index now stands at 912.23. In sports, the Mets host the Philadelphia Phillies tonight, looking for their 4th straight win under new manager Joe Torre. The Yanks are in Chicago to face the White Sox. CBS-FM weather, clear tonight, pleasant temperatures, low in the low 50s. Sunny Saturday, high around 75, and fair and milder tomorrow night and Sunday, the high Sunday near 80. Right now in Midtown Manhattan, 69 degrees. This is Kurt Chaplin, CBS-FM News.
Jim Harrington. Weekend 101.
CBS-FM, hey, baby. I want to know if you be my girl. That's a good song. Bruce Janelle with Jim Harrington at 8 past 6, 608 New York. Hello there, Friday night, Weekend 101 with the Zombies, and tell her no. CBS-FM, tell her no, the Zombies with Jim Harrington at 10 past 6. Oh, yeah, the Bay City Rollers, and I only want to be with you. Really, and you, but not you.
Golden 101.
Clear skies tonight, lows about 48 to 54 and thereabouts. Sunny and pleasant tomorrow, highs in the mid-70s, fair and mild on Saturday night. And Sunday, too, the high Sunday approaching 80, would you believe? Right now, here's Tony Orlando.